All right, so today I want to talk about my greatest achievement yet that I totally forgot about. It's the time that I completely sold out my first live show. Welcome back to another vlog. It's vlog 14 in my 100-day video YouTube challenge. And today it's a Sunday, it's a cozy Sunday. I hope you're at home nice and cozy too. I've got the hoodie on, the trackies on, and I was doing some reflection this morning. And I was doing that this morning and I was thinking to myself about achievements. I hadn't really felt like I had had any major achievements in the last few years. And then I remembered that I'd hosted this live show, my first ever live show, which completely sold out. And it was a double achievement for me because I not only launched and hosted my own live show that sold out 400 tickets, completely sold out. I also launched my book. It was actually the show to launch my book. Anyway, so I just remembered that, and I think it reminded me to look back at past achievements more often. So I thought today I would show you some of my favorite highlights from that live show, let it relive itself a little bit, because honestly, since I've been thinking about that this morning, I have so much positive energy. It's almost like I just finished the show yesterday. So that's what I want to do today. And then a red thread through all of this, as you know, I like to provide information and entertainment. So the information of this one is about how reflection on past achievements is something we should do more often, because I kind of feel that, you know, we all are very busy. We're going from one task, one milestone, one process to the next. So sometimes we have great days, we've completed a project, but then we're already on to the next one, right? So we don't live in the moment of the success of that project for long enough, or at least we should try and drag it over a period of time, just so that we just don't have so many highs and lows. Maybe we have a bit more of a constant throughout our lives. Anyway, let's get into it. All right, before I move on to the structure of the event, here are my favorite best bits from the opening section.
My mother's here. Give my mother a round of applause. She's from South Africa. She's flying in from South Africa. Now, South Africa is a wonderful place. Who's been to South Africa? Yeah, you have. Oh, it's doing well. Marketing's working well. But do be careful. It's had a past with crime. So just keep your eyes on her, okay? Just keep your eyes on her. She's a bit shifty. Don't turn your back. Make sure you leave with what you came with. Is what I'm saying.
Tired of having sex? Put this piece of metal on your face. You will never miss a message again, and you will never feel the tender embrace of another. What else does this offer?
It's revolutionary. Freeing your hands in that way. You can text like this. You can email like this. You can have sex like this.
Oh.
I told you, how fun was that? Oh my God, that's like literally the best memories ever. Do you think I should do another live show? Let me know in the comments if you think I should replicate that show in a virtual sense, because that live show was special because I invited in people, and obviously nothing beats a live audience, but oh man, I need to do another live show. Anyway, on with the video. So what was the show, you ask, right? Well, good question. So the show that I created, the LUNICORN live show, I'm going to show you some clips in just a minute, was a show that I wanted to create, basically, because it was in September 2019, Oslo Innovation Week, which is an amazing week of innovation in Oslo. It is what it says, right? Run by Oslo Business Region, who are dear friends of mine, who've helped me out through years and been customers of mine. I'm also just good friends with all the people who work there. They organized this event, which is basically to showcase Norwegian and Oslo-based innovation. And as part of that, I thought I would, there's probably 15,000 people over the week who come in. I thought this is the perfect time to launch the book I'd been working on over the summer, the Startup Buzzword Dictionary, cartoon illustrated. I'll link it below too. And now, events, right? Let's be honest. Let's face it. Startup events, they're dime a dozen. You've all been to 1,000 pitch events, demo days, and it's very hard to differentiate these events, right? So what I wanted to do was to create an event like had never been created. And I often feel like, the startup game, people take themselves too seriously. I am the definition of someone who doesn't take himself too seriously. I mean, before we changed the colors, my company color was pink, purple, and yellow. I mean, come on, right? And I made a cartoon character to describe startup buzzwords because I wanted to add some sort of entertainment value to the tech industry. So that's what I thought I'd try to do with this event, was to blend entertainment value with the tech industry, right? So I want everyone to leave having learned something, and that's always what I try to do. I want you to watch one of my videos and actually leave with an interesting thought or have learned something that you didn't know before. So that was the premise of the event, right? So I found a venue. It had a capacity of like 350 and 50 standing, right? So we knew we had roughly a capacity of about 400 people we could invite, which is a big, bold ambition for your first ever live show. I was piggybacking off the Innovation Week, so I knew there were a lot of people there. So I thought, you know, there were so many competing events. How can I make this event stand out versus the others? Well, instead of having it as a panel conversation or a pitch event or just a conversation with some of the great people that were there, I decided to create a kind of, you know, talk show, game show, basically. I'm a big fan of SNL, Saturday Night Live in New York. And also I'm a big fan of jazz clubs, and I'm also a big fan of like Trevor Noah and all these talk show hosts, right? Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel. So I wanted to do something like that because I love to sort of assume that character of a host, to be the sort of the host that is, you know, trying to be funny, very self-deprecating, cracking jokes, trying to be, you know, as witty as possible, but also like, you know, asking interesting questions so that everyone leaves having learned something, not just laughed, right? So that was the premise. Big ambition. We even went as far as creating commercials and like teasers to create FOMO and build up towards the event. Check this one out.
Oh my god, I'm so tired. I've been up all night working on my teaser pitch deck.
Oh, tell me about it. Haven't slept in days. My burn rate is so high. Only have a runway till Tuesday.
Have you raced?
We did convertible with some angels, but we're trying to go for the VC fund.
Do you have traction for this?
Oh, God, enough. Are you overwhelmed with startup buzzwords? Are you, like me, still confused at the difference between beta test and MVP? Then you need to come to the LUNICORN Live Show on the 25th of September, which will be a comical evening and stylings on the industry that we know and love, the startup world. And every single ticket includes a copy of our new book, The Startup Buzzword Dictionary by the LUNICORN, which is a cartoon illustrated journey all the way from MVPs to pivots, to hockey sticks, and burn rates. Ooh, that sounds a bit painful. I'll see you at the anti-startup event of the year on the 25th of September, 7 p.m. Jungs in Oslo!
And the idea for the event, so go back a few months, and the idea for the event came from my sister when she said, you know, you should do a book launch or a launch event for this, for the book. And that's sort of why the premise came. So they say you shouldn't hire or work with your family. It worked out for me, obviously. Thanks, Julie. And so me and my team, I had a small team at the time, Alina, Anna, Velu, wonderful people, Mina, who was so helpful in building this up to kind of blend this kind of idea. So we made loads of really cool posters. I'll put a few up here right now. So we plastered them around all the co-working spaces, all the events in Oslo, just build up as much hype as possible. We made a few kind of funny commercials, which we were promoting on LinkedIn and Facebook and other places to sort of really put our event front of mind. Like our event was the one event that week you were going to go to that you didn't want to miss, because it was going to be the most entertaining and the most informative. The others were amazing, but the other ones, you go sit down, you listen, you learn. Ours, you go, you sit down, you laugh, you listen, and you learn. That was a difference between our event and any other event. And I'm a big advocate of like creating original things. And you can only do that if you sit down with a blank canvas and you kind of have a sort of an attitude that is like, okay, what has been done and what hasn't been done? How can we do what hasn't been done? Throw out crazy ideas. And we did. So we built up to the show. Now, I wanted to invite some obviously big speakers and things like that. Well, not speakers, but I wanted to invite some big people, some big wigs to attract some audience. Now, this is something I forgot about as well, was that there's this really awesome, famous guy called Ubar Butler, who is the guy who did the Vice video, I'll link it above, where he faked a restaurant on TripAdvisor and became the #1 restaurant in London. If you haven't watched the video, it's amazing. I'll link it above. And he's done a lot of videos since then. He's an awesome guy, right? So I knew that he was coming to Oslo to talk at an event. So I basically used my network to get hold of his people. And because he was coming to Oslo, he was paid to be there already. I just basically got hold of him and I said, hey, I would love to have you on my show. It's a talk show meets comedy show meets jazz club type, you know, Saturday Night Live, a bit of sketch comedy. And I'd love you to be one of the guests on the second half of the evening, where I was going to ask some funny questions and things like that. And he said yes. So that was just goes to show, like, you know, if you ever want to get someone that you think is way too good for you and way too high profile and it'll cost too much money, you don't know until you ask. So always ask. The worst case is you get contacted, or the worst case is you get connected with his people or her people, and you know, you've got a foot in the door then. And maybe not this time, but maybe another time. Maybe this time you're too small or low key. Next time you actually have some traction and you say, hey, now we've grown, we've developed, this is worth their time. Think about that one. All right, so quickly on the show. So I split the show in two halves, basically, two 45-minute halves. Had, you know, packed audience there, 400 people. Now the first half was a kind of really fun, entertaining piece. It was called Co-Founder Face-Off, and it was where I got two co-founding teams of two local kind of like hero startups in Oslo, in a team called Inspire Me, the two co-founders, and a team called, a startup called Mingle, who everybody knows, right? And I got the two co-founders there. And I basically had called each co-founder beforehand and asked them, basically, there's a marriage game where you have the couple back to back and you ask them questions about each other. You know, like, you know, what do they hate? What do they think the other person hates the most about them? Some secrets that they should know, and some hilarious secrets that hopefully they didn't. And that's what I did. And everyone in the audience loved it. They were in tears of laughter because we unveiled that, you know, one of the co-founders had hooked up with another one. All right, I'm going to play my favorite clips from that one. Here you go.
Question we all want to know about co-foundership. Can I get some silence in the room, please? Can I get a little drum roll, please? A little drum roll. Daniel, have you ever hooked up with your co-founder?
It was a kiss when we were 18.
It was a kiss, but we were 18. Give it up for Daniel Flamingo.
And then the second half was called the Startup Buzzword Game Show. And this was where I had Ubot Butler, this famous guy, joined Team UK because he's from the UK. My friend Victoria, who worked at Google. Again, this was sort of an industry event. So I wanted to make sure that there was a red thread, that everyone understood that this was tech focused and tech intended. And so that, you know, going there was a business. It was the funnest business event you'd ever go to. So they were Team UK. And then I had Sean Percival, who's actually American, but lived in Norway for a long time. And who's an ex-venture capitalist, a very famous guy in Oslo too, in the tech scene. Everybody knows him, everybody loves him. And then Kimberly Larson, who actually used to be a famous actress. Now she runs a really successful startup in the entertainment industry called Time to Riot. And I put them on Team Norway. And then I brought them all on and I asked them basically buzzword questions, you know, inspired from my book, of course, things they should know, with the intention of actually asking them questions that the audience wouldn't know. And I was educating the audience whilst entertaining them. So it was like a proper kind of like red thread in all of this and kind of combining information and entertainment. And it was hilarious, the things that came up there. So here are a few of my favorite clips from that section of the evening.
What is the longest Uber ride?
The longest Uber ride was about 4 minutes and 13 seconds with my ex-girlfriend. Sex is a very personal thing.
And she's here tonight. Give it up.
You know, what we believe with the food that we're going to be eating is going to be a lot of insects, a lot of locusts, things that come from the earth. You know, we may all be eating cockroaches soon. And that all of this is famously explosive for your stomach.
Norway, as a very eco-friendly country, we know that you all care about the environment so much.
You guys are great.
Yeah, leading the way in the world. So we have here.
Yeah, we're going to penetrate the information superhighway with our new product, and it is called Do.
Do the do.
Do the do.
Do the do.
Okay, so to round it all off, I'm sorry this went on longer than I expected. I usually try to keep my vlogs under, 8 minutes or so. But it's just so much passion coming out of this. I hope you can see that. And please let me know in the comments if you think that I should do another one of these live shows virtually or something like that. Anyway, so the whole point of this was about how, this morning I've relived a former milestone, a former achievement that I've forgotten about. And I just look at the energy is buzzing off me right now, just talking about this and reliving the event and that it was a success. And I am now so motivated to rethink about what I'm going to do next in the next weeks, months, and see if I can get a live show going again, right? So if you can take any inspiration from this, or if you can take anything away from this chat, at least you laughed, maybe you learned something too. But spend a minute or two, well, no, you need more than that. Spend a few minutes today on Sunday. Think about your most recent milestone and try to backtrack how many milestones ago you could go, and see if there's something in that you were like, of course, that I said I would do that again, and I said I would relive that. I said I would do that again in a different, format. Yeah, I think that's a really valuable skill set to do. I'm blabbering now. I'm going to end the vlog now. Thank you so much for watching. Please do consider subscribing to my channel for daily vlogs, the Matt Daily, and also feature videos every single week. The last one I just did was on heights, the brain hacking brain pill. And next week, we're going to do one on Hopin, the newest, hottest $15 billion startup in Europe. See you in the next episode. Thanks.